Galactic Empire killed a human top general. Humanity declared all-out last war. He looked out at the vast emptiness of space, feeling a weight that no human had ever felt before. Reports had come in hours ago. General Nathan Cole, one of humanity's most brilliant military minds, had been assassinated by agents of the Galactic Empire. The news hit the human government and people like a thunderclap. Anger, fear, and sorrow mixed together, burning in every citizen's heart. Logan had served under Nathan for more than a decade. He remembered the first time he had met him. Nathan had been young but sharp and fearless. He had a way of looking at problems that made impossible battles seem possible. And now he was gone, killed in cold blood in an act of pure political hatred. The Empire had sent a clear message. Humanity was weak and it was time to kneel. But Logan knew humanity would never bow. In the command room, his officers were tense. Lieutenant Maya Turner, a young but talented strategist, paced nervously. "Admiral," she said, "we've intercepted communications from the Empire fleets near the outer colonies. They are moving fast. They know we will be angry. They are expecting retaliation." Logan turned to her. "Let them expect it," he said, his voice calm but firm. "They have made a mistake they will regret. Humanity does not forget its heroes, and it does not forgive murderers." The room fell silent. Every officer understood what Logan meant. This was not going to be a small fight. The Empire had millions of soldiers, countless ships, and technologies that humans had barely begun to master. But humans had something else. Something the Empire often underestimated: courage, adaptability, and a refusal to accept defeat. Meanwhile, on Earth, the news of General Cole's death spread like wildfire. Citizens gathered in the streets, waving flags and chanting the general's name. Schools and offices closed as people of all ages came together to mourn and to demand action. Logan's voice was broadcast across the networks. He spoke of honor, bravery, and justice. He told the people that humanity was ready to fight, not for revenge alone, but for survival. The Galactic Empire had grown arrogant over centuries. It had conquered countless species, believing that strength and technology alone could dominate the universe. But humans were different. They were not the largest, not the most advanced, but they had heart, ingenuity, and a relentless will to survive. That had been Nathan Cole's greatest lesson, and now Logan intended to carry it forward. The first step was to gather all available fleets. Humanity had hidden military bases on the edges of the galaxy, some known, many secret. Logan ordered every commander to mobilize immediately. Ships that had been in dry dock for years were now being prepared for battle. Engineers, technicians, and crews worked around the clock, fueled by anger and determination. In the midst of the preparations, Logan called his senior officers to a strategy meeting. Among them was Commander Luke Harris, a quiet man known for his sharp tactical mind, and Captain Eliza Grant, a fearless pilot who had led countless raids against pirate fleets. "Listen carefully," Logan said. "The Empire expects fear. They think we will hesitate. They think we will bow. They are wrong. Every planet they have taken from weaker species, every atrocity they have committed ends now. We will strike first, strike hard, and strike with everything we have. Humanity does not negotiate with murderers." Maya Turner brought up a holographic map of the galaxy, showing the locations of known Empire fleets. "We are outnumbered in every sector," she said. "Their ships are faster, more powerful, and equipped with weapons that can destroy entire planets. But we have one advantage. They never expect humans to act with full aggression. They assume caution, protocol, and diplomacy. We will not give them that. We will act unpredictably with speed and precision." Logan nodded. "We take the fight to them, but we must also protect our own. Earth and our colonies cannot fall before we even begin. Luke, you coordinate defense strategies for the inner systems. Eliza, you prepare strike teams for hit-and-run missions. Maya, you and I will plan the main offensive. We have one chance to make this count." As the officers dispersed, Logan walked alone to the observation deck. He stared at the stars, thinking about Nathan Cole. He remembered the general's laugh, the way he would challenge impossible odds, the pride he had in every human he commanded. Losing him had hurt, but it had also lit a fire in Logan's heart. He did not speak of fear. He did not speak of doubt. There was only resolve. Humanity had survived wars before, had faced threats far greater than the Empire, and had always found a way to fight back. This was different, yes, but humans were nothing if not resilient. In the far reaches of the galaxy, the Empire had already taken notice of human movements. High Commander Rax, a cold and calculating leader, had ordered his fleets to converge on the outer colonies. "Prepare to crush them," he said to his council. "They are no more than insects. They will fall quickly." But Rax did not know humans the way Nathan Cole had known them. He did not know that a single human soldier could change the course of a battle with cunning and courage. He did not know that a general's death could unite an entire species into a force that even the Empire might not survive. As ships moved into position, and as battle plans were drawn, Logan Hayes felt a surge of determination. This was humanity's last war, the war that would decide whether humans would survive or be erased from the galaxy. And he knew one thing for certain: the Empire had made a fatal mistake in killing Nathan Cole. The first orders of attack were sent. Small human fleets, fast and maneuverable, slipped through Empire patrols. They struck supply lines, crippled transport ships, and sent messages back to Earth that humanity was not afraid, that humanity was ready. On the ground, colonies braced for impact. Citizens helped load defense cannons, built shields, and prepared for occupation. Families held together, united by the knowledge that the human race was about to fight for its life. In one colony, a young girl named Lily Marshall watched the sky as human fighters streaked past in their ships. Her father had served under Nathan Cole, and she remembered the stories he had told her, stories of courage, sacrifice, and hope. She clenched her small fists. "We will win," she whispered to herself. "We have to." As night fell across the colonies, human soldiers rested, repaired their ships, and sharpened their weapons. Every eye was on the stars. Every heart was beating with anticipation. Logan Hayes walked through the hangars, nodding at the soldiers. Some were nervous, others excited. All were ready. "This is the beginning," Logan told them. "The Empire killed our general thinking it would break us. It has done the opposite. Humanity is united. Humanity is ready. And humanity will not stop until justice is done." In the darkness of space, human fleets gathered like shadows waiting to strike. The galaxy, vast and silent, had never seen anything like it before, and soon it would see humanity's wrath. The war had begun, though the first shot had not yet been fired. And somewhere deep in Logan's mind, a single thought repeated again and again. This was more than revenge. This was survival. This was humanity proving, once and for all, that it would never be conquered. Above the stars, the human flag flew on every cruiser, every station, every shipyard. And in every human heart burned a promise. No matter the cost, the Empire would pay for what it had done. The first human strike fleet moved quietly through the outer rim of the galaxy. The ships were smaller than the Empire's warcruisers, but they were fast and agile. Captain Eliza Grant piloted the lead fighter, her eyes scanning the dark void for any sign of enemy patrols. She had flown hundreds of missions before, but today was different. Today, they were fighting not just for survival, but for honor, for Nathan Cole, and for the human race. Behind her, dozens of fighters followed in tight formation. Each pilot knew the risks. They were about to hit an Empire convoy carrying weapons, supplies, and troops. If they succeeded, it would slow the Empire's advance. If they failed, many would die. "Stay sharp," Eliza said over the comms. "We strike fast, we hit hard, and we vanish before they know what hit them." Remember, we are humans, they expect fear. We give them courage. The convoy came into view. Massive Empire ships floated through space like dark giants, their hulls glinting faintly in the distant light of a star. Human fighters darted around them, small shadows against the vast metal. Eliza led the first wave, firing plasma torpedoes that ripped through the convoy's defenses. Explosions lit up the darkness as human precision and speed surprised the Empire forces. Many ships tried to chase, but human pilots were quicker, smarter, and unpredictable. They darted between debris fields, used gravity wells, and even asteroid belts to their advantage. "Target the supply ships," Eliza instructed. "Leave their warships for now. We need to cripple their resources, not just fight them." Lieutenant Maya Turner, coordinating from the command center of the Liberty Star, tracked every movement. She adjusted the human fleet's maneuvers in real time. "Eliza, your left flank is open. 2 enemy interceptors are closing in." "Understood," Eliza replied. She twisted her fighter sharply, using the ship's maneuverability to outflank the interceptors. With precise shots, she destroyed both ships before they could fire. "We are clear, moving to next target." Below the surface on human colonies, engineers and workers watched transmissions of the skirmish. They had never seen such skill. Humans were smaller in number, but every move was calculated, every strike deadly. Hope rose in the hearts of the colonists. For the first time, they believed they could win. Meanwhile, Admiral Logan Hayes observed the battle from the Liberty Star. His face was calm, but inside, he felt a storm of emotions. The humans were winning small victories, but the Empire would respond with full force soon. "We cannot stop here," he said quietly. "This is only the beginning. Humanity must show the Empire that we will not be broken." Suddenly, a warning appeared on the main screen. A massive Empire warship was approaching fast. It was larger than any human ship in the fleet, armed with weapons that could destroy an entire moon. "Eliza," Logan said, "fall back. Lead the convoy away from the warship. We cannot win a head-on fight with that monster." "Yes, Admiral," she replied, but her eyes burned with determination. "We will not run. We will fight smart, not blind." Eliza and her squad used every trick they knew. They led the Empire ship into a cluster of asteroids, forcing it to slow down. Then they launched a series of micro-drones, small but explosive, which detonated near the warship's engines. The massive ship shuddered as sparks flew from its hull. "Direct hit," Maya shouted over the comms. "They will have to retreat to repair. The convoy is safe for now." The human fleet cheered, even though the victory was small. Every success counted, every strike sent a message to the Empire. Humans would not give up. Back on Earth, the government and military leaders met in emergency sessions. President William Carter addressed the nation, his voice firm. "The Empire has killed one of our greatest generals. They believe they can intimidate us. They are wrong. Humanity is united, and we will fight with everything we have. Today, we strike back. Tomorrow, we fight for the stars. We will not bow. We will not falter. We will survive." Citizens responded with overwhelming support. Factories increased production of ships and weapons. Young recruits trained tirelessly, learning to fight in space, on land, and on hostile planets. Humanity was preparing for a war that would test every skill, every courage, and every human heart. In the midst of these preparations, a spy within the Empire provided critical information. A transmission reached Logan Hayes, revealing the Empire's plan to attack a remote colony that had sent aid to human fleets. The colony, called Valeria, had only a small defense force. If it fell, the Empire would gain a strategic advantage. "Prepare a rescue mission immediately," Logan ordered. "We cannot lose Valeria, not while humans still fight." Commander Luke Harris quickly organized a strike team. Pilots, engineers, and soldiers volunteered without hesitation. Among them was a young soldier named Aaron Blake. He had lost his older brother in an earlier skirmish, and now he wanted revenge. "I will not let the Empire hurt my people," he said, gripping his rifle. The mission was dangerous. The team had to infiltrate enemy territory, fight superior numbers, and evacuate civilians. But every member of the team knew the stakes. They were fighting for humanity's survival. Meanwhile, the Empire's leaders grew frustrated. High Commander Rax could not understand why humans refused to submit. "They are weak, yet they resist," he said. "Send everything, crush them completely. No mercy." Rax underestimated humans at every turn. He did not see how humans worked together, how they used the terrain of space, how they adapted in ways the Empire could not predict. Every small human victory forced the Empire to divert more resources, slowing their advance and giving humans time to strengthen their defenses. On Valyria, the colonists prepared for evacuation. Families gathered in shelters, while soldiers set up defenses. Aaron Blake's squad arrived just as the Empire fleet began its attack. Explosions rocked the surface as human fighters engaged enemy ships in the sky. Ground forces held their positions, fighting bravely to protect the civilians. Aaron led a group to secure the main evacuation route. They fought through narrow streets, dodging fire from Empire drones. He saw a young boy trapped under rubble. Without hesitation, Aaron lifted the debris and carried the boy to safety, showing that even in war, humans protected each other. Eliza and her pilots provided cover from above, striking Empire ships with precision. Each attack was a calculated risk, each maneuver designed to save lives and slow the enemy. Slowly, the evacuation succeeded. Civilians were loaded onto transport ships and sent to safety under the stars. By nightfall, Valyria was safe, and the human team returned to their ships. Exhausted but victorious, they looked at the stars, knowing that this was only the first of many battles. Humanity had proven that courage, unity, and clever thinking could overcome even the most powerful enemy. Back on the Liberty Star, Logan Hayes addressed the fleet. "Today we saved Valyria. We struck the Empire where they least expected. This is how we will fight every battle, not with numbers alone, but with strategy, courage, and heart. Humanity will survive and humanity will win. Remember this moment. Remember Nathan Cole. The war has only begun, but we are already showing the galaxy what humans can do." As the fleet moved back toward human space, every officer, soldier, and pilot carried a sense of pride and determination. They knew the battles ahead would be harder and that losses would come. But they also knew that humans could adapt, endure, and fight with a strength the Empire could never fully understand. Somewhere far away, in the command halls of the Galactic Empire, High Commander Rax paced angrily. "They are not like other species," he said. "Every time we think we have them cornered, they find a way to strike back. They are dangerous, more dangerous than I thought." But it was too late for Rax to stop the human spirit. Humanity had already begun to rise, uniting across planets, colonies, and fleets. Every victory, no matter how small, became a symbol of defiance. Every human soldier, pilot, and citizen carried the memory of Nathan Cole and the determination to honor him with action. The war was no longer just a fight for revenge. It was a fight for survival, for dignity, and for the future of the human race. And as human fleets prepared for the next strike, one truth became clear. The galaxy had underestimated humanity, and that mistake would cost the Empire dearly. The victory at Valyria was a spark that lit fires across human colonies. Word of human courage and clever attacks traveled faster than the Empire's fleets. People who had once feared the vastness of space now felt hope. They knew that humans could fight, that humans could survive, and they were ready to join the struggle. Admiral Logan Hayes sat in the strategy room of the Liberty Star, studying the galaxy map. Lines of movement, coordinates, and fleet positions covered the holographic display. Every small human victory had forced the Empire to move their forces in response. Now Logan saw an opportunity. The Empire had split their fleets to chase human strikes. If humans acted quickly, they could strike at a key stronghold. "Luke," Logan said to Commander Luke Harris, "I want a full reconnaissance of the Imperial stronghold on Ganymede. We need to know every weak point, every defense, every patrol schedule. We strike at their heart, not their flank." Luke nodded, already pulling up satellite scans and fleet reports. "I can get a team in undetected. Our small ships can slip past their sensors if we time it right. We just need a coordinated strike." Maya Turner leaned over the map. "We also have civilian resistance groups on Ganymede. They can help us sabotage the defenses from the inside. If we combine our forces, we can turn the stronghold into a trap." Logan smiled faintly. "Good. Humans win by using their brains as much as their weapons. This is the way Nathan Cole would have planned it." Meanwhile, on the surface of Ganymede, human sympathizers moved quietly. Among them was a former engineer named Daniel Hayes. He had been forced to work for the Empire after his colony was occupied, but he had never forgotten where his loyalty lay. Now, with human fleets approaching, he prepared to help sabotage the Empire's defenses. "If I can take down just one cannon," he whispered, "it could save hundreds of lives." The attack fleet assembled at the edge of the system. Small, fast ships glimmered in the darkness of space, hidden among asteroids and debris. Human pilots checked their equipment, exchanged brief words of encouragement, and ran final systems checks. Fear was there, yes, but it was matched by determination. Every human knew what was at stake. Captain Eliza Grant led the first wave. Her fighter darted past Empire sensor grids, weaving through asteroid belts and debris fields. Behind her, Lieutenant Jordan Mills piloted another ship, ready to protect any human fighter in danger. They were fast, precise, and unpredictable, everything the Empire did not expect. As they approached the stronghold, massive enemy turrets began tracking the incoming ships. The Empire had anticipated a direct attack, but humans rarely fought as expected. Eliza's squad split, some going around the stronghold to draw fire, while others followed the planned path to infiltrate weak points. On the surface, Daniel Hayes activated explosives on a turret. Sparks flew, and the cannon exploded, sending fragments across the courtyard. Human soldiers in the ground team moved quickly, securing the area and neutralizing enemy forces. Civilians, trained by resistance networks, assisted wherever they could. Together, humans were more than soldiers. They were a united force. Back in space, Maya Turner coordinated the fleet. "Eliza, your left wing is clear. Proceed to the secondary entrance. Jordan, cover the rear. Keep the Empire distracted." The battle was chaotic. Lasers streaked across the void and explosions shook the stronghold. But humans moved with purpose, striking where the enemy was weakest. Every maneuver had been planned, yet every pilot adapted to the moment. The Empire had numbers, but humans had ingenuity. During the fight, a young pilot named Ryan Carter spotted a massive energy cannon charging. "Admiral Hayes," he said over comms, "they are preparing to fire on the colony we just rescued. If it fires, thousands will die." Logan's jaw tightened. "Eliza, intercept. Everyone else provide cover. We cannot let them destroy lives we just saved." Eliza's squad raced toward the energy cannon. They dodged laser fire, outmaneuvered interceptors, and launched targeted torpedoes. The massive weapon erupted in flames, its firing mechanism destroyed. Humanity had saved more lives. Meanwhile, on the ground, Daniel Hayes and his team pushed forward. The Empire soldiers were skilled but disorganized by the simultaneous attack from space. Explosions, gunfire, and chaos filled the stronghold. Every human knew the stakes. If they failed, the Empire would crush this colony and send a message to the entire galaxy. If they succeeded, it would prove humans were a force the Empire could not ignore. Hours passed. Slowly, the human strike team secured the stronghold. Civilians were evacuated, Empire soldiers were captured, and the remaining enemy ships were disabled or forced to retreat. The operation was costly. Some human pilots and ground forces had fallen, but the victory was undeniable. Back on the Liberty Star, Logan Hayes addressed his officers. Today, we showed the galaxy that humans are not just survivors. We are fighters, strategists, and protectors. We take what the Empire believes is impossible and make it reality. This is the way of humanity. Nathan Cole taught us to fight, and now we continue his legacy. On Earth, the news of Ganymede's liberation spread quickly. People cheered, celebrated, and wept. They were reminded that humanity was stronger than fear, smarter than oppression, and united in ways the Empire could never understand. High Commander Rax, on the other hand, grew more frustrated with every passing day. "Humans are infuriating," he said, slamming a fist on the command table. "They are too clever, too fast, too unpredictable. Send reinforcements. Destroy them all." But even as he ordered more fleets into action, humans continued to strike where the Empire least expected. Supply lines were attacked, minor bases were liberated, and intelligence networks grew stronger. Every battle, small or large, taught humans new ways to fight. Every success boosted morale and unity. On one liberated planet, a young girl named Sophie Lane watched humans dismantle Empire machines. She held a small flag and waved it as soldiers passed by. "We are human," she said to her brother. "We will never give up." Her words reflected the truth of the human spirit. Across galaxies, humans who had once felt powerless now found strength in unity, courage, and hope. Every person, every soldier, every pilot became part of a movement the Empire could not crush with guns or numbers alone. As the human fleets returned to their hidden bases, Logan Hayes reviewed the reports of the battle. Lives had been lost, but victories had been won. Humans were proving time and again that heart, strategy, and courage could overcome even the most powerful foe. The galaxy had begun to take notice. Other species who had once been under Empire control started sending secret messages to human fleets, offering intelligence, small forces, and supplies. Humanity, once underestimated, was now a symbol of resistance and hope. Logan Hayes knew the road ahead would be long and dangerous. The Empire would not let go easily. Their anger would grow, their fleets would increase, and their tactics would become more ruthless. But humans had learned a key lesson. Fear was temporary, courage was contagious, and every human could make a difference. In the quiet moments after battle, Logan walked through the hangar, greeting pilots and crews. "You did well," he said. "Every move you made, every decision you took saved lives. Humanity fights as one, and that is why we cannot be defeated." He paused to look at the stars, thinking of Nathan Cole. The general's lessons lived on in every human action, in every bold strike, in every moment of bravery. And Logan knew that this was only the beginning. Humanity had awakened, and the Empire would soon learn the full cost of its arrogance. The war had entered a new phase. It was no longer about survival alone. It was about proving that humans, though smaller in number and less advanced, could stand against the greatest power in the galaxy. Every strike, every victory, every life saved strengthened that truth. Somewhere in the vast darkness of space, the Empire regrouped, preparing for the next attack. But humans, guided by courage, strategy, and the memory of their fallen general, were already moving again. The galaxy would see the rise of humanity, and the Empire would realize too late that it had underestimated a species capable of greatness. After the victory on Ganymede, humans knew the war had entered a dangerous new phase. The Empire was furious, and their response was swift. Entire fleets began moving toward human-controlled space, more powerful and better equipped than ever. Admiral Logan Hayes gathered his senior officers on the Liberty Star. "We've made them angry," Logan said, his eyes scanning the map. "They are sending their main forces to crush us, but this is what we have been preparing for. Humanity fights when the odds are against us, and we will not fail." Commander Luke Harris studied the incoming fleet's projections. "They are sending at least 10 of their largest warships, each armed with planet-destroying cannons. Our current fleet cannot face them directly. We need to hit their supply lines and force them to divide their forces." Maya Turner nodded. "We can set traps. Use decoys and hit-and-run tactics. We do not need to destroy them all. We only need to survive long enough to gather allies and resources. Every victory will count." Logan's plan was bold. The humans would split into multiple groups. Some would attack supply lines, others would defend key colonies, and the main fleet would lure the Empire into a trap near the nebula of Varkin, where the dense gas clouds could hide human ships. Captain Eliza Grant and her pilots prepared for another dangerous mission. They would lead the decoy fleet, appearing vulnerable to draw the Empire in, while other human forces lay in wait for the perfect moment. Every pilot understood the risks. Many would not return, but every action was necessary for humanity's survival. "Remember," Logan said before the mission, "the Empire believes strength is everything. We show them it is not. Humanity fights with courage, intelligence, and heart. Today, we prove that again." The first group of human ships left the hidden base and entered open space. They moved slowly, deliberately, showing themselves to Empire scouts. Sure enough, enemy sensors detected them. Massive warships adjusted course, closing in to attack. Eliza's squad twisted and turned through the void, dodging enemy fire but never retreating. Every movement was calculated to appear chaotic while drawing the Empire deeper into human territory. Behind them, hidden in the nebula of Varkin, human forces waited in silence, engines off, blending with the dark gas clouds. On the ground, human colonies prepared for invasion. Soldiers reinforced walls, civilians carried supplies, and engineers repaired old defensive systems. Every person had a role. Every role mattered. Even in the colonies farthest from the front lines, humans understood that their contributions were vital to the war effort. The first major clash occurred near the asteroid belt outside the nebula. Eliza's fleet engaged the Empire's warships, firing plasma cannons, launching torpedoes, and drawing the enemy into dangerous terrain. Massive explosions shook space, lighting up the darkness. The Empire's ships were powerful, but human agility and strategy made them unpredictable. Meanwhile, human strike teams in the nebula prepared ambushes. Lieutenant Jordan Mills led a squad of fighters hidden among gas clouds. They had modified weapons designed for close-range attacks and were ready to strike as soon as the main fleet lured the Empire inside. "Wait for my signal," Jordan said. "Timing is everything." The Empire, confident in their superiority, pushed deeper into the nebula. Their large ships struggled with navigation, moving slower than human pilots anticipated. Sensors became unreliable in the dense gas. Suddenly, human fighters struck from multiple angles. Torpedoes hit critical engines, lasers tore through weak points, and the ambush caused chaos. Back on the Liberty Star, Logan monitored the battle. "It is working," he said. "We are forcing them to fight on our terms. Keep pushing. Every strike, every hit counts." Humanity is showing the galaxy who we are. On the surface of the nearby human colony of Vardos, civilians watched the fight through communication screens. Children clung to their parents and soldiers checked weapons. Even though the battle was far away, everyone felt its impact. They were part of something larger, part of humanity's fight to survive. During the fight, a massive Empire warship managed to break through part of the human defenses. Captain Eliza Grant and her squad moved quickly, coordinating with Maya Turner to flank the ship. Every maneuver was precise, calculated to exploit weaknesses in the enemy's armor. Explosions erupted, and sparks flew as the enemy vessel was finally disabled. Human losses were heavy, but each sacrifice mattered. Soldiers who fell did so knowing that their actions protected others, saved lives, and strengthened humanity's position. Every human who fought became part of a story that the galaxy would never forget. Meanwhile, Logan Hayes received intelligence that another Empire fleet was preparing to strike Earth directly. The news sent a wave of urgency through the command center. "We cannot let them reach Earth," Logan said. "Prepare the defenses and call for all available fleets to converge. This will be the decisive battle if we do not act quickly." Commander Luke Harris began coordinating defensive positions across multiple star systems. Shields were strengthened, fighter squadrons deployed, and weapon systems tested. Humanity had never faced a threat like this before, but every person was ready. They had trained, prepared, and learned from previous encounters. Every strategy, every maneuver, every lesson counted now. In the midst of the preparations, young pilots and soldiers proved their courage. A team of cadets led by Lieutenant Kara Benson intercepted an Empire scout fleet, preventing them from reporting human positions. They moved quickly, taking risks older pilots might have avoided, and succeeded in delaying the enemy long enough for larger human forces to reposition. "Humans fight differently," Logan said to his officers. "We are not just soldiers. We are thinkers, planners, and protectors. We adapt, we survive, and we never give up." As the Empire fleets approached Earth, human defenders were ready. Every colony had contributed forces, every fleet was in position, and every soldier understood what was at stake. This was not just a battle for territory. It was a battle for the survival of the entire human race. The first shots rang out near the asteroid belt surrounding Earth. Human and Empire fleets clashed with explosive fury. Massive energy beams tore through space, and the void was filled with fire and debris. Yet humans fought with precision, using tactics that the Empire did not anticipate. Captain Eliza Grant led a daring maneuver, striking at the heart of the enemy formation. Her fighters weaved between massive warships, targeting their engines and weapon systems. Each hit caused confusion among the Empire ranks. They had never faced an enemy that could fight with such intelligence, such courage, and such unity. On the ground, human soldiers fought alongside advanced drones and automated defenses. The colonies became fortresses, and every citizen became a part of the defense effort. Engineers repaired weapons, medics treated the wounded, and commanders coordinated reinforcements. Humanity's will to survive showed in every action. During the battle, a massive Empire warship prepared to fire on Earth's largest city. Young pilot Ryan Carter, along with a squadron of volunteers, made a desperate run toward the enemy ship. Dodging beams and missiles, they launched a coordinated attack, hitting the warship's critical systems. The explosion rocked space, saving millions of lives below. Logan Hayes watched the battle unfold. Despite the odds humans were holding, their courage, intelligence, and unity were more than the Empire had expected. Every maneuver, every decision, every act of bravery became proof that humans were not to be underestimated. After days of fighting, the Empire began to retreat, their forces diminished and disorganized. Humans had shown that strategy, courage, and heart could overcome even the greatest technological advantage. But Logan knew the war was far from over. The Empire would return stronger and more determined. Still, for the first time in decades, humans could see hope. They had defended their home, saved countless lives, and struck blows that the Empire could not ignore. Across the galaxy, other species began to whisper of humans as a force to be reckoned with. Logan Hayes looked at the stars, thinking of Nathan Cole and the lessons he had taught. Humans had survived impossible odds before, and now, united and determined, they were proving it again. The galaxy had underestimated humanity, And that mistake would continue to cost the Empire dearly. The galaxy trembled as the final phase of the human counterattack began. The Empire, shocked by repeated defeats, had gathered its most powerful fleets to crush humanity once and for all. Massive warships moved through space, dark shadows against distant stars, their weapons capable of leveling planets. But humanity was ready. Admiral Logan Hayes stood on the bridge of the Liberty Star, surrounded by his senior officers. The fleet had grown, not just with human ships, but with allies from colonies and liberated species who had begun to see the Empire for what it was, a ruthless oppressor. "Today," Logan said, his voice steady and resolute, "we end this. The Empire has killed our general thinking it would break us. Instead, it united us. Every human, every ally will fight, and we will show the galaxy what it means to be human." Captain Eliza Grant checked her fighter squadron. Each pilot was tense, alert, but determined. The mission was simple but deadly. Strike directly at the Empire's command fleet, disrupt their leadership, and force them into retreat. Lieutenant Maya Turner reviewed strategy charts. The Empire's fleet is spread across multiple sectors. Their largest warships are concentrated here. If we split our forces, we can draw them into traps while our main fleet strikes their command ships. Precision and timing will be everything. On Earth, civilians watched the human fleet prepare for battle. Families hugged, soldiers checked weapons, and engineers made final adjustments to defenses. Every person understood the stakes. Humanity's survival depended on courage, unity, and the willingness to fight against impossible odds. In space, the battle began. Human fleets moved with speed and precision. Small strike teams darted through enemy formations, hitting supply lines and disabling weapons. Massive explosions shook the void as human ingenuity turned the Empire's strengths against them. Captain Eliza Grant led a daring run toward the central command ship. Enemy lasers cut through space, but human pilots twisted and dodged, using asteroids and debris as cover. Explosions erupted around them, but their focus never wavered. Every strike, every maneuver was aimed at a single goal: victory. Meanwhile, Logan Hayes coordinated the main fleet from the Liberty Star. "Divide their attention," he instructed. "Keep them busy." Every human fighter in play is another step toward success. We fight with courage, intelligence, and heart. On the surface of a contested planet, human ground forces prepared for an assault. Commander Luke Harris led troops into the Empire's defensive structures. Soldiers moved quickly, using tactics learned from previous battles. Explosions rocked the ground, but humans pressed forward, securing strategic positions and cutting enemy supply lines. Young soldiers, some barely adults, fought alongside experienced veterans. Among them was Aaron Blake, who had grown from a grieving young man into a capable leader. He led his squad through the chaos, inspiring them with courage and determination. "We fight for our families, for our homes, and for every human who cannot fight," he shouted. The Empire's High Commander Rax watched the battle unfold from his flagship. Anger and disbelief filled him. "How can a species so small, so few in number, fight like this?" he demanded. "Every attack we crush only inspires them more." But Rax did not understand humanity. He did not see that humans drew strength from one another, that courage multiplied when shared, and that determination could not be measured by numbers or technology alone. In a daring move, Eliza Grant and her squadron reached the Empire's command ship. They fired torpedoes at critical systems, dodging massive beams and counterattacks. The enemy ship shuddered under the assault, sparks and explosions lighting the void. Human pilots pressed the attack, relentless and precise. On the ground, Daniel Hayes and his team infiltrated the remaining defensive positions. They dismantled weapons, freed prisoners, and sabotaged communication arrays. Every action made the Empire weaker, every human act counted. Meanwhile, Logan Hayes led a coordinated strike against the Empire's central fleet. Human ships moved in perfect synchronization, cutting off escape routes, neutralizing weapons, and crippling enemy command structures. Small fighters struck at weak points while capital ships delivered heavy fire. The Empire's fleet, despite its size and strength, began to falter. Amid the chaos, a massive explosion erupted in the enemy flagship. High Commander Rax lost control, his fleet in disarray. Human pilots pressed the advantage, striking swiftly and decisively. Every victory was built on courage, intelligence, and unity, the essence of humanity. On a nearby colony, civilians cheered as transmissions showed human forces winning. Children waved flags, families hugged, and hope filled the hearts of everyone watching. Humanity was proving that even against the greatest power in the galaxy, they could survive and triumph. Aaron Blake led a final push against remaining enemy forces on the ground. His squad fought fiercely, protecting civilians and securing vital positions. Exhausted but determined, they knew every action mattered. Humans were not just defending their homes, they were showing the galaxy what they were capable of. Back in space, the Empire's fleet retreated in disorder. Ships fled, some destroyed, some abandoned. Humanity had won a decisive victory, demonstrating that courage, strategy, and heart could overcome even the greatest technological power. Admiral Logan Hayes addressed the fleet over the comms. Today, humans have shown what it means to fight, what it means to survive, and what it means to protect our own. The Empire underestimated us, and they paid the price. Nathan Cole's legacy lives on in every human who fought. Humanity has risen, and the galaxy will never forget it. Captain Eliza Grant's squad returned to the Liberty Star. Pilots and soldiers were exhausted but triumphant. They had faced impossible odds, risked everything, and succeeded. Their courage had inspired millions, and their actions had changed the course of the war. On Earth, celebrations erupted across every colony. Humans had not only defended their home, but had shown that they could fight and win against the greatest power in the galaxy. Citizens cheered, hugged, and thanked soldiers. Humanity had survived, and in doing so, had shown its true strength. Even distant species who had watched humanity from afar began to see humans as a force to be reckoned with. Allies offered support, technology, and aid, inspired by the courage humans had shown. Humanity had proven that even a small species, united and determined, could challenge an empire and win. In the quiet moments after the battle, Logan Hayes walked the bridge, watching his officers and crews. "We have done what no one thought possible," he said quietly. "We have survived, we have fought, and we have shown that humans will never bow to tyranny." Captain Eliza Grant stood beside him. "This is only the beginning," she said. "The Empire will return, but now they know we are not weak. Humanity will not be afraid." Logan nodded. "Every victory, every life saved, every human who stood tall, this is the true power of our species. Nathan Cole's dream, our hope, our courage, lives in every one of us." Across the galaxy, human fleets began to regroup. Planets once occupied by the Empire were liberated, colonies rebuilt, and alliances strengthened. Humanity's message was clear. They would not be conquered, they would not submit, and they would fight for survival no matter the cost. And so, the final battle of this chapter ended, not with a single hero, but with an entire species proving its worth. Humans, united, courageous, and clever, had faced the greatest empire in the galaxy and survived. The war had changed them, tested them, and strengthened them. The galaxy had learned an important lesson. To underestimate humanity was to invite defeat. And humanity, now stronger and more determined than ever, would never be underestimated again. As the stars shimmered across space, Logan Hayes looked out from the bridge of the Liberty Star. In his heart, he knew that the fight was far from over. The Empire would return, challenges would rise, and sacrifices would continue. But humans had discovered something more powerful than any weapon: the courage to fight, the wisdom to adapt, and the unity to survive. The war was not yet finished, but humanity had declared loud and clear that it would not be defeated. The galaxy had seen what humans were capable of, and the legacy of General Nathan Cole lived on in every ship, every soldier, and every citizen who fought. Humanity had risen. Humanity had fought, and humanity would never fall.